not even at 40K, and that's very rude. Go ahead and finish.
No, I wasn't finished.
Yeah, go ahead.
And Cardi, and I'm glad Laughs and Giggles said that, because just as I mentioned, we don't give a chance to understand and learn our partners. And what I'm trying to convey to you guys is very important, because we don't want to be out here. We want to know how to navigate the racist encounters we have. We need to know that. And but to be shut down, that's not fruitful for a Black woman who is having respect for the Black man. And that's why there's a disjointed and disconnect between us when we're trying to become a couple. And we move on to see what it's like over here. And it's very soft and it's very understanding. He would never tell me, "Oh, shut up and land your plane." To us, that we always talk like that, so it doesn't feel disrespectful when it's coming out of your mouth, but it lands disrespectfully. And no, you don't know me an apology. I'm just trying to impart that perspective so that we can start thinking we don't have to change our whole lives. Sometimes it's just tweak this, just an adjustment here. And who knows, you could be pulling a Black woman away from a BLK woman away from a white guy. But yeah, I'll end with that. And thank you. And I apologize, Laugh, if I took too long.
No, you did perfect. Right at 40K mark. Thank you guys that we got it to 40K. Let's get it to 50K. I want to let TikToker respond to Laugh and Giggles. In a moment, we're going to introduce Nisi. If everyone else could please mute your mic, and let's continue tapping to 50K. Let's continue tapping to 50K. And also make sure you're talking loud in your mic so that I'm able to record this properly, please, you guys, and hear you guys well. Coach, I just muted you. But yeah, let's go ahead. TikToker, you can respond to Laugh and Giggles.
First off, I'm married to a beautiful Black BLK woman. I got 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. Middle school, 2 of them in high school. Secondly, I love BLK women.
Wait, I'm sorry, TikToker. You're not responding to Laugh and Giggles. You're responding to Sean because he addressed you. But go ahead. You knew what I meant. Go ahead.
And Coach Karen. Coach Karen, too.
No, you're not responding to Coach Karen.
I love my BLK people, period. You see, now at the same time, I argue with both of them. I get into it with a BLK woman, and I get into it with a BLK man. You see what I'm saying? So just because I get into it with a BLK woman, that don't mean I don't love them. I'm just not the type to. I'm just not the type where you can say anything to me. I'm just not. Some people, you know what? Some people you can walk up to them and call them the N-word, and they won't do nothing about it. And then other people you call them the N-word. Now we got a problem. So one thing that I've learned about TikTok is some people are in a sport. I call it TikTok ball. You know what? They got the women who want to talk about the men. They got the men who just want to talk about the women. Then you got the neutral people who will talk about the men and the women and who try to look out for both and just try to fix the situation. What I've learned about TikTok is those people that are in that sport, those people that just want to hear negative stuff about men, and those men who just want to hear negative stuff about women, there's nothing you can say, there's nothing you can do to change them, because we're basically getting in the way of them playing their sport. So I understand what the lady in front of me, what she just said. But when people come on here and say, "Oh, I'm talking about BLK women," first off, I don't believe BLK people, okay? We have a thing, we say we mind our business. We don't walk up on a BLK person. I would never walk up on y'all in real life. I don't care what was going on. If I don't know you, I don't know what's going on. I don't know your situation, because most of the time you walk up in somebody's business and then 2 weeks later they back together. Now you the one, looking bad. Don't allow people to make up on you. You know, you're fighting them, so now they back together 2 weeks later when first they was fighting. We all know this. We stay away from that. We stay away from people's business. So when it comes to disrespecting the BLK woman, that'll never happen. I don't disrespect BLK women, but that don't mean that I won't go in on one. See, there's a difference. But I ain't never gonna do it first. I hear y'all talking about, oh, if you do this to a BLK, you ain't never heard me do that. Now you've heard me get into it with them. That's because that means somebody said something about me first. Somebody say something about me first. It's only cracking depending on, the mood I'm in. Depending on because I know it's a game. I know that this is TikTok ball, and I understand that this is a game. But for the most part, I love my I said again, I love my BLK people, men and women. And my whole thing is when it comes to this mixed racing, I see it like this. Whoever rock with you, rock with them. And whoever is you find out, do you believe in God? If you don't believe in God, I don't care what color they is, step. Because somebody who don't believe in God, you know what? They gonna want to rock their household. So your household, to me, if it's led by God, and I don't mean perfect because I'm not perfect either. I still ain't found out how to turn the other cheek. I don't know how to turn the other cheek yet. So I'm not saying that I'm perfect because I'm not, because I just have not found out how to turn the other cheek. But
all right, let's land it, and then you can respond.
I'm about to land right now. My last thing is find out who rocking with God, and whoever not, let them go. All right, I land.
Okay. I want to hear what Wife Mom thinks about what TikToker just said.
It was nice, but I just had only one problem with him saying he doesn't come for women and he doesn't say anything about women. That's disingenuous because he's come on here several times and talked about how women can't be friends with each other and aren't loyal to each other unless they agree with each other. And then he said some things that wasn't cool about women. It wasn't true about all women. But other than that, he all right. I land.
All right. Very interesting. Let me introduce Nisi. Nisi, if you give your age, race, and pronouns, and also answer history only matters when BLK women date white tea men. True or false, and 2 points to back it up. And if everyone can tap, get us to 50K while she's talking.
Hey, 41 BLK, she, her. And I would say absolutely it's true. And the points that I would have to back it up is because history is only brought up when it comes to BLK women dating white tea men. When BLK men have been dating.
Go ahead. All right, let's move right along. I don't hear her anymore.
Reviews of James Earl Jones saying how, BLK women, just them going through so much, they're not the women for me. Or Harry Belafonte doing the same thing. Sidney Poitier, all of our legends in history have been preaching how BLK women just aren't the thing and how white tea women are better, even though they were historically likely to be unalived from being accused by a white tea woman. But now, and BLK women always considered that, and why we were so race loyal is because, we can't do that to our ancestors.
You keep cutting in and out, Nisi. Is anybody else hearing that? Kennedy, are you hearing her cut in and out? Kennedy, are you hearing her cut in and out?
Yeah, she's cutting in and out.
Okay, Nisi, I'm gonna come back to you. Matter of fact, I'll drop you and bring you back.
But YouTube is going well, Poetic, really well. I'm on the YouTube, so if you could mod me up.
Okay, all right, sure will. If everyone can tap, let's get it to 50K. If everyone can tap. I wanted to go back to Sean. Sean, what do you think? What's your response to TikToker?
Well, the only thing is that, okay, good.
Why let that girl speak?
Laughing Giggles mute.
Why let that girl speak?
Okay, since last
Wait, Sean, hold on. Don't ignore him, please. What do you think? Respond to TikToker. Go ahead.
That's sad.
TikTok, I'm glad that you married a BLK woman, but no, my point is, I'm a nice guy to a certain point. Till you get to that point of I turn to cheat many a times before you get to my temper point. And when you hit that tender point, glove gonna come off. I'm going to go hard on you. Period. Mic drop.
Kennedy, if you want to chime in.
Okay. So the way I see it, gentlemen, is that I mean, I know these are some beautiful, wonderful women that's on the panel, and you gentlemen got to show, that you guys are worthy suitors. But when you look at the fact of the matter, here's a fact, right? There's no denying that BLK women are not going over to the other side just because they just want to get BLK's men attention. It's an opinion, bro. What's up? I can't hear you, man. That's an opinion, what you're saying. Okay, just let me finish. Laugh. Come on now. So like TikToker was just saying, he got love for the BLK community, period, right? And fine, that's true. But what I'm saying, TikToker, you know this to be true. When the BLK men were out there flaunting all these women at their basketball games and their football games, majority of them were not getting smokes. In fact, majority of the other BLK men in the community were looking up to, I want to be like that. And that's a fact. But I do know that some BLK men have a stance and say, no, no, no. No one should be going across any line. But the majority of BLK men did not have the smoke for BLK men when they were doing it. As now, they've seen BLK women attached in malls, in movie theaters, in the grocery store, BLK women attached to the other gender. So I think that there's just this double standard for BLK women that the moment they do something, it's Armageddon. But when the BLK man does it, it's just like, they're not like us. But when the BLK women do it, they're not one of us. There's a huge difference between not like us and not one of us. And that's what I'm seeing.
Wow.
What you see? You see that? You see how it works?
No, laughing giggles, hold on.
What you see? So,
mute him, please. Mute him. Hold on, laughing giggles. If everyone can tap, we're almost to 50K. Laughing giggles, you're going to have to wait. Because I'm not going to do round for round with that right now. Let me introduce the new guest. Jerome, if you could give your age, race, and pronouns. Jerome, if you can unmute your mic and give your age, race, and pronouns. All right, I'll come back.
35.
Because you're talking in the mic, you sound very low. Mute your mic. Okay. Go ahead. Say it again.
35, Big Zoe, Big Haitian, Big Poppy Zoe.
All right. History only matters when BLK women date white team men. True or false? And 2 points to back it up.
History only matters when BLK women date white team men. No, I say that's false. The best history comes when your daddy's black. What people don't understand is the way they count seed is by your father's seed. So you are what your father is. I'll give you an example, right? Tia and Tamara, right? They look like two BLK women. But when you actually do the history, they daddy is a white tea man. So even though they look like BLK women, their seed line is from the white tea man, and that's why one of them had to deal with a white tea man, because they can't deal with a BLK man. The one that was dealing with a BLK man, what she do? Divorce him. You know why? She don't like structure. Okay, she don't like authority. She don't like none of that. She like just like the other one. She did the smart thing, because that's what she's supposed to do. If your daddy's white tea, you should deal with a white tea man, so you could bully him, sleep all over the floor, bully him. But guess what? She could. The other one, she couldn't bully that BLK dude. I don't know his name, but he's a great actor. Okay, and they got divorced. So at the end of the day, you are who your father is. So if your father's a white tea man, you need to deal with that bracket right there. So history only matters when BLK woman.
We're still on the first one.
Yeah, I'm staying right there. So I'll say this, right? Your history doesn't matter, because speaking to the woman, because the fathers, their history don't change. I'm going to be a Haitian man, and whatever seed I put in somebody else, they're going to be a Haitian baby. I can go to China and get a Chinese woman pregnant. Guess what? They're going to be a Haitian seed. It don't matter if he has chinky eyes or nothing. The seed that I put in her was my seed. But if you have a white tea man and he put seeds in her, and he put a seed in her, that whole lineage is going to be white tea. So yeah, I think history only matters when. That's a hard question.
Okay, while you're still thinking about it, hold on, Jerome, hold on. You're gonna think about it, and we're gonna come back to you because you keep reading it. If everyone can tap, let's get it to 60K. Let me go to Big Zaddy. Big Zaddy, what do you think about what Jerome said?
On that, he don't have that knowledge.
Laugh and Giggles mute.
First of all, Laugh and Giggles, no one.
Don't address him, please.
My bad. I honestly, again, here we have an example. Another Pookie Jerome. We already know. I'm not gonna put your business out there, but we know. Anywho, when he said that the lineage is gonna be ruined because a white tea man puts a seed in a BLK woman, that's a false statement. How is it gonna be ruined? I'm curious, because whether, let's say, a BLK man goes, right, has a kid with a white tea woman, that kid's gonna be biracial anyway. Anyone you have a kid with that's not your race is gonna be biracial. So really, they're gonna have both your lineages. So that doesn't make sense if you know biology, which I know, Jerome, you probably dropped out of high school, so you don't know how biology works. But that's how that works, and I'll land my plane.
All right, let's everyone please mute. If everyone can, let's mute. Let's tap the screen, y'all. Let's get it to 60K. Also, let's gift the panel. A lot of the panelists are on 0. Let's gift the panel. Also, let's support the live goal, and make sure we're tapping the screen and Heart Me by my name. Appreciate the support of the platform. Let's keep it going. Also, if you have another device, or if you want to check out this live later, go to my YouTube, Poetic Lady. I ask everyone watching to actually subscribe. My goal is to get to 200 subscribers within this next week. I already reached 100 subscribers. Yay. So please go over there and subscribe, and also go ahead and watch this live now or later. Moving right along. Really quick, Jerome, would you like to respond to Big Zaddy?
Yeah. So real quick. Obviously, people don't know what they're talking about when they talk about biology and talking about DNA and all of that. First off, you are what your father is. You are what your father's seed is. So I'm gonna try to speak slow to you, because obviously you don't understand.
So it might be okay.
Let him finish, Big Zaddy. Don't answer him, please, and just do your response.
Yeah, so first off, the personal attacks or whatever, you can't personally attack me because I live a better life than you. So let's just get that straight. Because I don't even know you and you know me. So that's an issue right there. So that means you're a fan. And I don't really deal with fans. Anyway, so when it comes down to the actual DNA, everybody knows to trace DNA, you have to go back to your fathers. The reason why they used to say, well, you're the son of such and such, the son of such and such, because your father's DNA don't change. But a woman, if she deals with somebody else, she's carrying somebody else's seed. So her DNA always changes. So my whole point is this. There is no such thing as mixed. When y'all keep saying, oh, I'm mixed because my mom is white and this, you're not mixed. You're not, your seed is already from your father. So even though your mom might be white tea, I'll give you an example. Blake Griffin, he has freckles, but his dad is Haitian. So that means that he's a Haitian baby, but because he dealt with an Irish woman, the woman, okay, yeah, she plays a part, but she doesn't carry the seed. So now Blake Griffin's son is even more lighter than him. And guess what? That's still a Haitian baby. And that baby got yellow hair and freckles too. But they're still Haitians. You know why? Because her dad is a Haitian seed. Your seed doesn't change as a man. But guess what? When it comes to a woman, her last name changes. Everything changes for a woman. Even when you get married, you got to get your last name changed.
All right, let me go. Let me ask the panelists some questions. Jerome, have you ever dated outside your race?
Yes. Right now, I'm dating a Liberian woman, and I'm Haitian.
That's still be okay. That's the African diaspora.
Okay, and my first baby mother was what was she? Oh, she's like, I forgot what she. It's almost like from like Ethiopia.
That's still African. Jerome.
No, but it's still my seed. It doesn't matter. They're not.
I asked you, have you dated outside your race? That's still be okay, people.
They're not Haitian. I'm Haitian. My race is Haitian.
That is not your race. You are black. Your culture is. Oh.
Okay. All I'm saying is I'm Haitian from DNA, from blood birth, and guess what? The other woman that I'm with, they from different parts of Africa. They're not kinfolk to me, but the seed that I put in them, they're gonna be Haitian seed. It doesn't matter if they come out looking like an Ethiopian. My daughter looks straight up like an Ethiopian.
Okay, 1 second, Jerome. I'm gonna come back to you.
Cape Verdean, I got it. Cape Verdean.
Okay, Jerome, I'm gonna come back to you. I got some questions.
Okay.
Mute your mic. You're echoing. We have Young Big on the YouTube live stream. He says Big Zaddy is a brokey. All right, moving right along. These people on YouTube is funny right now. They're just throwing out shots fired on YouTube. Okay, moving right along. Wife Mom, what do you think about what he said? That he's not be okay, he's Haitian, and the other things he was saying.
Just, stupidity on every level. Men don't have seed. They have the fertilizer. Whatever. Oh, God. There is no race of Haitians. There is no race of Ethiopians. Those are ethnicities and nationalities. Those people black. Oh God, I wish they would have banned microphones and not TikTok. Jesus.
Oh, all right. Moving right along. Let's go to TikToker. Have you ever dated outside your race before you were married?
Yes, I would say yes. I did.
Have you ever dated a white
one of those dudes who, you know what, I never thought that I would marry a black woman until I found my wife. I didn't realize that that I could find somebody who despised negativity more than I do. Put it like that.
I'm gonna need people to stand on business. I feel like people are holding back from the regular characters and things that they say. I'm gonna need people to stand on 10 toes. Let's tap the screen, y'all. Let's get it to 60K. What you mean by negativity? Could you expound?
For an example, I got family, right? A big family. My father had, 11 brothers and sisters. My mom had 7. When I grew up, I'm used to them beating people down. Let's put it like that. I'm used to busting out windows, flattening out tires. Not me, but me seeing it. And I knew my father would take me around and be like, look, we love them, but we not like them. You can't be like them, you can't be like them. You're different from them, you're different from them. Right? So as I was growing up, I lived in the suburbs. My dad was a professor at the University of California.
Wait, you have a lot of noise. Should I come back to you?
Oh, sorry. And my mom was is an RN. So we lived up there, but I didn't like it because that's where the YTs were. We were more athletic. We couldn't play no ball, where we were at. So I used to like to go where my aunties and my uncles was at because that's where, the hood was. And that's when it's like they wasn't afraid of you. That's when you get on the court, you really on the court. You get on the field, you really on the field. Everybody is trying to do whatever it is that they're trying to do. So, but while I'm there, you know what? We got to get out the park. You know what? Before the lights come out, because it's about to be in gun smoke. You see what I'm saying? See, you can't be on this side of the town because if you're on this side of the town, you can't wear red. If you're on this other side of the town, you know what? You can't wear blue. So with me, I wasn't feeling that. And to me, where I was from, I thought, that's just how black BLK were. Not only the men, the women. You could not disrespect people. You see how people.
Okay, let's get down to it. To just so that people can understand in a nutshell. Are you saying that most BOK people were ghetto and breaking windows, and you either think you can find a woman that will suit your needs and that you can marry that was BOK, and you usually date outside your race before you marry the BOK woman?
Yes, and the ones that were good, the looks wasn't there. And to me, I always just thought that, I just always had women. They always wanted me. I didn't have to go to them. They just came to me. And whether it was me dancing, whether it was me singing, whether it was me playing sports, whether I was in a parade, the talent shows, the pep rallies, whatever it was, I always had women. And the women that were good, I just wasn't feeling them like that. They just didn't look good like that. The ones that looked good, you couldn't say, you can have fun with them, but they would hit you in the mouth. They'll bust you in the mouth. And with me, from how my dad was and then how my mom was, it just wasn't me. So in high school, I was rocking with the YT.
Whoa, wait. You guys hear this? TikToker know I love him. We're both from Cali. But guess what? TikToker's saying he usually dated outside his race. Now let's backtrack for those who are my real supporters and come to my lives. What was he saying about BOK women and YT men, directly and indirectly? But he himself was not even dating BOK women. What is going on? Is anybody catching on to this and what's being said? If everyone please can mute, not you. If everyone else can please mute, I am talking. This is groundbreaking. This is groundbreaking. See, this is the time where I need warriors on the panel because guess what? I don't rebuttal my guests, especially my guests that I like. But we got to get some rebuttals in here because guess what? The conversation needs to be balanced. I need people that are going to clock it because otherwise it makes no sense to have the conversation unless we're going to have real conversation. And when people are saying things that are contradictory, we need to bring it out. And that's why I have 8 panelists up here. Otherwise, I'll just bring up people one by one. This is crazy work. Crazy work. Let's let Big Zaddy chime in first. If you're on Teacup, I will drop you, but you can request back up. Big Zaddy, what do you think about what TikToker just said?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. TikToker, you switch up a lot, bro. Like on your stances. And I've been noticing that with you, and I just want to say, like, dang, bro, like, so your wife wasn't your first choice of a race of women. You dated outside your race until you found your wife. That's sad. So she's the second option. That's crazy.
I never said that.
No.
Wait, let's let him finish, and then TikToker, you can respond.
And then why do you switch up on your stance? Like, TikToker, you did come on this panel a long time ago since I've been on, and you've been switching up your answers. One day you'll say one thing, and one day you do kind of say another thing. So I'll land my plane right there.
All right, before TikToker responds, let's get it to 60K. Nisi, you were very choppy earlier, so nobody really heard your introduction, but we'll come back to your introduction. You can go to open panel at this time. Nisi, what do you think about what TikToker just said?
I think that he literally proved your prompt to be correct, because when it came to BOK women dating out, he had all of these history lessons for us, and then goes on to say that he dated white tea women when he was in high school and when he was younger, like proving the point, like he wasn't thinking of history for his own case, but we're supposed to be thinking of history in ours.
Wow.
Not like that, man. Why you capping? I'm sitting here listening to him.
Laugh giggles. He doesn't need your help. He can speak for himself. Hold on. Mute. TikToker, what do you think about what Big Zaddy and Nisi just said?
It was wrong, and I didn't say what they said I said, but that's how TikTok roll. When you say dating outside your race and then you go straight to the white tea women, why I got to be a white tea woman? Why can't it be a Hispanic woman? Why can't it be an Asian woman? It goes, oh, he said YT. No, he didn't say that. That's what you saying. That's what you want me to say. So see, that's what that's what you want me to say. See, that's what you want to hear. I never said while I was dating outside my race, because I was just dating all kind of women. That don't mean that the BOK wasn't in the mix too. Y'all trying to make it seem like it's just YT. Why can't it be? You know what? He had the YT woman. He had the Asian woman. He had the Hispanic women. He just had women. Just period. Why? See, on TikTok. See, that's why I say it's TikTok ball. When you have an agenda, you really don't want to listen. You want to hear what you want to hear, and you want to come at the person wrong. Yes. If you're going to ask me, did I date YT women? Yes, I've dated YT women. But it wasn't just them. I know you're trying to stick it just YT. There's other people out here. There's other females out here other than YT. So I land on that.
Woo! So much to say there. Let's cap it up. Let's get it to 60K. Nisi, you can respond, and then Laughing Giggles, I'll let you chime in.
Yeah, sir, that's exactly what I heard. I'm not disputing anything that you just said, because you literally said, I dated YT. This is not a matter of you tasting the rainbow, sir. The fact of the matter is you're trying to guilt trip BOK women into not tasting the rainbow as you so did. You contradicted yourself and only used history in regards to us and didn't use in regards to yourself.
Wow.
One last thing. You're wrong again. I didn't guilt trip you. You must have just got on. I said if they rocking with God, go ahead and rock with them. That's what I said. So don't get here talking about I'm giving you a history lesson. See, I'm not these other people that you listen to, and that's one of the problems you guys have. You hear so many people going one direction that when another dude come on, you gonna lump me into the same category as another dude. I ain't never gave you no history lesson. I ain't never told you to go ahead and date the YT dude. Not to. What I said was rock with the one who rocking with God. That's what I said. I land on that.
Wow, this is groundbreaking. Everyone mute their mics. I have Bella on YouTube who says, does his wife know that she's the second option? Well, goddamn.
Man,
Ah.
everybody a second option.
If-
Still better.
Mute. Ah. Let me introduce the next guest.
Said I could chime in. What you doing?
Because you keep interrupting people. Go ahead and chime in and no profanity.
Okay, so you know you're always gonna be second.
Go ahead, let him chime in.
You're always gonna be a second option. You feel what I'm saying? When you dating somebody and they all of a sudden they don't marry the first person that they with, somebody always gonna be the second and the third option. But y'all ain't even get a man no props that he ended up with a BLK woman. He was with all them women, but you heard what the man said when he was younger. He grew up in all of the stereotypes. He figured that they was true. So then he, you know what I'm saying, started, dating outside his race and things like that. Y'all didn't get a brother no props for even like seeing that all the rest of that stuff was trash and coming back to the sisters. He don't get no props for that. Man, come on, man.
Kennedy, if you can chime in before I introduce the new guest.
All right, everybody. The way I see it is, no, there's no second option. When you lock down someone and when you're with someone, there's no second option in that process. That's just not what we say, and it's not how you think about things. All right. When I go to a bank and I open an account, there's no second option. Yes, I have option, whatever, but majority of the time, you're loyal to those institutions that you trust, and that's a fact. You're loyal about the people that you're around as friends. There's no second option in your friends where you have a second group of friends in buckets. When your friends don't work out, you go to them. It's the same thing because this is interaction and relationships with people, and we can't just. This is not like trophies and a sport where you get second options just because. No, these are things that requires a higher level of commitment and a higher level of your resources. So I would hope that you're not sitting around wasting your resources on things which you don't think should get your attention. And with that being said, Poetic, if you give me a chance to do a plug, people are asking about the YouTube. If you go to the link tree in Poetic's bio, you will see the YouTube channel, which is going good over there. It sounds good over there too. So when the TKK goes dead, then we still have something to hear this good message. Again, the link tree is in the bio for Poetic. That being said, yeah, I just think Laugh and Giggles, there are certain things that are not laugh for giggles. And that means that people are not commodities that you just put in like a bag of flour and when they expire, you just dump them out and go to the next bag.
Wow. That was very interesting. But if everyone can tap, let's get it to 60K. Also, when you go to my YouTube, please subscribe. Maz, if you could let people know in the comments, make sure they're subscribed and make sure they tap the screen on YouTube and hit the bell. But moving right along, today's topic, history only matters when BOK women date white tea men. Greg, if you could give your age, race, and pronouns.
Age 40, race, BOK, pronouns on him.
Could you talk more in the mic, or if you're on earphones, if you could fix that?
Yeah, can you hear me better now?
You did all that moving just to sound the same? Wow. I'll come back to you. Nisi, if you could chime in, what do you think about this topic?
I love this topic because I feel like it's constantly proven true, and a lot of these men don't realize it. To say, you wouldn't even marry a BOK woman, and you just so happen to end up with a BOK woman, which means you preferred white, Hispanic, all of the races that you named over BOK women. But the idea of BOK women also doing the same thing that you did, you want to come here and preach to us. It makes no sense to me. You are literally the proof of the prompt here. And Laugh, Labs, you really need to stop interrupting. You also prove that there's a lack of self-control with the men in our community, which is a good reason to get away from y'all. Because if you can't control yourself in a conversation, I don't think you can control yourself in my presence. You can't even control yourself in a conversation. But I'm supposed to expect that you're going to control yourself in my presence. You sound like somebody that would be Civ. That's what you sound like, just from the way you refuse to have self-control. It's crazy to me that these men literally come up here and prove your prompts right in real time and are so ignorant to their own ideology and the stuff that's spewing from their mouths that they can't even see it. Proving the point.
All right, Laughing Giggles, please stay on mute. Let's tap the screen, y'all. Let's get it to 60K. Also, if you haven't heard me by my name today, please heart me by my name. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube, please go to Poetic Lady and subscribe. Right now, if you want your comments read, I will try to read some comments on YouTube. It goes a little bit faster on TikTok. So if you have a profound comment, put it in caps if you want me to read it out. But let's tap, you guys. We should be at 60K. I'll go back to Greg in a moment. Greg, if you could be ready. But Sean, did you want to chime in on anything?
Sure. Laugh. Well, Sassy, I ain't saying nothing to you, man. Go talk about somebody else. Well, I was trying to talk to TikTok. When you kept on wanting to call me GAY.
Let him talk. He has the right to talk. Everyone on the panel has the right to talk. Please mute. Let's mute Laughing Giggles. Thank you, mods. Laughing Giggles, wait. Let him finish. Go ahead, Sean.
I see why your name is Laughing Giggles, because you're a clown. You're a very big clown, and you're a Pookie and Ray Ray, and you proving it every time you unmute your mic. So I'm in there, pulling the button, and you're gone.
I'm crying. I cannot take this. Oh my gosh. He said you were a clown. I cannot believe this. Let's move right along. Let's move. Come on. Let's stop with the insults, you guys. Let's go. Let's move right along. If everyone can tap. Okay, Laughing. We're gonna move around. Let's take a break from that. I don't want that to get out of hand. Greg, if you could give your age, race, and pronouns.
Is this any better? You guys give me.
You sound like you're muffled. I'm gonna just drop you because you like to play with me. You can request. He has red bars, so he's not playing. Okay, you can come back. Let's go. If everyone could please tap the screen, send your request up if you're going to stand on business. I actually want to go to the next topic. We can still chime in on the first one if you would like, but let's go to BLK women are white tee men's dream girls. Big Zaddy, is this true or false? And 2 points to back it up.
Oh, absolutely 1,000% true. Because I know my ideal dream girl is a beautiful BLK woman, and I don't care, light skin, dark skin, I really don't care. But it's gonna be a beautiful BLK woman.
I think you'll stop. You're messing up the sound, the audio when you're talking over people. Go ahead.
So it's gonna be a beautiful BLK woman that I get married to, most definitely. And 2 points to back it up. For example, I see that with my homeboys. Guess what? All my homeboys that are YT, they're with BLK women. And guess what? There's about 8 of them that are with BLK women. And guess what? All 8 of them are married or engaged. So, there's your point right there to back it up. Absolutely. BLK women are the most beautiful. And I am going to be hopefully getting married within the next year or 2. So, absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for that. Let's go to Laughing Giggles. Laughing Giggles, BLK women are white tee men's dream girls. True or false? Go ahead, Laughing Giggles. Unmute his mic.
Yeah, let me tell you something about the BLK woman. She's every man's dream girl, okay? Like just don't put the Caucasian man in one corner like, it's just his dream girl. She every man on the planet dream girl. You feel me? It just so happenly that the Most High gave her to me. She's mine. All right? So, yeah.
Let's go to TikToker. TikToker, question for you. BLK women are white tee men's dream girls. True or false? And 2 points to back it up.
I say false. That don't mean they don't like them, but not dream girl, because the YT community is large, meaning that it's over 50%. I think it's about 50% YT, and it's only 12-13% of BLK. And of that, 7% of that is BLK. So if the YT dude wanted to be okay, then I feel like they will come get them. Because like I said, it's only 5% of BLK men. So that means there's a lot of BLK women out there up for grabs. And you know what? Some YT like them, but dream girls to another level. When you saying dream girl, that's a whole nother level than liking.
So when you said if they wanted them, they'll come get them. You said that it's about 50% of YT men, and I think you said 13% of BLK women are BLK people. And if they wanted them, they would just come get them. What do you mean by that, TikToker? If you can expound.
Meaning that there are states to where YT people go their entire childhood and never see a BLK. So what I'm saying is, in those states, if you go up North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, states like that, there's nothing but YT. If those YT men wanted BLK, I'm talking about a dream girl. I'm not talking about liking. Yes, you guys look good, you smexy, you all of that. But when we talking about dream girl, people go after their dreams, and we know they have money. So if we looked at them as the dream girl, I believe the YT would go get them and bring them to South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Utah, Colorado. That's what I'm saying. They would go get them. They have the money to come get you. I land on that.
Wow. If we can tap it, let's get to 70K. If everyone can tap the screen, let's get the likes up. That's interesting. So ultimately what you're saying is they don't want them that bad. Otherwise they'll come get them. Wow. I need people to stand on business. Let's not read between the lines. Let's just be very blunt and straightforward. Nisi, what do you think about what TikToker just said?
Thing that he wants to believe that he's projecting onto YT men, because he's not a YT man, as we all know. So him speaking for YT men and what their quote unquote dream girl is very odd, being that he has no basis to be on that standpoint, being that he's not a YT man. But also on top of that, hold on a second, but also on top of that is that beauty is subjective. Your dream girl may not be the next man's dream girl, and that's regardless of race. And the fact that you so willing, like, well, you're not their dream girl, you know, not that type of girl. A lot of you guys are thinking of what your idea of a dream girl is, and not what that man's idea of a dream girl is. Because, you know, believe it or not, Gabby Sidibe, she was somebody's dream girl. She's married to a YT man that's a millionaire. And BLK men were always talking about how fat and attractive she was all the time.
Okay, you got red bars, Nisi. I'm gonna have to come back to you.
She ended up getting married.
All right, Nisi, if you can fix your phone. I'll come back to you. Laughing giggles, shush. Bella, if you could give your age, race, and pronouns, welcome back.
BLK 21.
All right, you guys got to talk louder. Turn your mics up. Everyone turn their volumes on their phones. wherever you're on here from, whatever device you're using, turn it up as much as possible because I am recording and I need to actually hear you. And the listeners need to actually hear you. But let me chime in on this while everyone's making sure their volume up and fixing their devices. How could they come and get BOK women just because they have money? That is implying that BOK women that will just go, like we are really gold diggers, will just go just because they got money. Also, what that is implying is that we're not race loyal. Sorry, but majority of BOK women are race loyal. That's why they cannot go to these states. I'm surprised nobody rushed to say that. But yeah, BOK women are, there's actually a survey that was done with all races of women, and BOK women were the only ones who chose their own race of men. You guys know what survey I'm talking about. I believe it was about 83% of BOK women chose their own race of men. So we're the most race loyal group of women. So of course they're not going to go run to Utah. That's the whole point of this conversation. BOK women are the most race loyal. But because we're race loyal, guess what people say? And we've heard it from BOK men on this panel, and some of them are switching up as this series continues. But in the beginning of this series, guess what y'all was saying? Oh, they don't want y'all. Y'all undesirable. But the more they came to this panel and to this live and prove otherwise, y'all start backpedaling. So again, BOK women choose BOK men. They choose their own race of men more than any other group of women. Now, what you guys have done on the flip side, don't interrupt me. I'll drop you. What y'all have done on the flip side is say, hey, you guys are undesirable. That's why we don't see a percentage or we don't see statistics high of you guys dating out. Instead of giving us credit for being loyal to you guys, you used our loyalty against us and try to say that we're undesirable. And that's what's crazy. That's what's crazy. Now, again, since I've been doing this series, some of y'all backpedaling. Some of y'all are backpedaling. I'm not even going to say no names right now, but some of y'all on this panel is backpedaling.
I mean,
you are one of them.
Never.
And I'm going to tell you how you backpedal. I'm going to tell you exactly how you backpedal. But if everyone can tap the screen, let's get it to 65K. You're the one that brought up the statistics about a couple of weeks ago on one of my lives, continue the series of BOK women and white men. You brought up the statistics that they're not marrying y'all. You said, yeah, y'all beautiful, but they're not marrying y'all.
Wrong guy.
Yeah, it was you. All right, moving right along. Let's go back to Bella. Bella, if you can give your age, race, and pronouns, and also answer the first prompt. History only matters when BOK women date white teen men.
All right, BOK, she her 21. No, I disagree with the prompt. I believe that people try to use the whole history stance to start trying to deter BOK women from white men, and then they go and date white women, which is something I've never understood. Because if you're saying there's a history behind it and you're still going to date those people, then you obviously don't care about the history. You just don't like the idea of a BOK woman dating anybody that's not a BOK man.
Wow. And I'd love to hear more. I still need you a little bit louder, but I'll come back to you. Kennedy, if you can read the comment from Smiley Sims on YouTube. And if everyone can tap, let's get it to 70K.
So Smiley Sims is asking, ask them to explain why divorce rates between BM, BW, and BM is higher than that of BW and WM. So I guess BM is BOK men and BW is BLK women and WM is YT men. Why is the divorce
So
rate higher
basically,
with
why is
BLK
the
women?
okay? So
UK
hold on, Kennedy.
versus-
So basically, why is the rate of divorce higher between BLK people when they marry each other opposed to when BLK women marry a white teen man? Laughing Giggles, that question's for you.
Oh, that's easy. You know, when the odds create the statistics, they tell it just to take your woman. So of course they're gonna write it up and make it look like your woman is surviving with him and his woman is not surviving with you. But you gotta first understand, if these are the guys with the money, if they the one have the generational wealth, of course they're gonna be able to do things that a lot of BLK men are not able to do right now because they're not in those same positions. You feel what I'm saying? So of course he can go out and take her to certain places and do certain things and all this other stuff because they got the credit, they got the money. I ain't talking about the broke ones. I'm talking about the ones who in that type of position. Yeah, he can make the marriage last. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of BLK men, they're not in those same positions. So of course they might get a divorce. Yeah, but I know the statistics shows that. But those are statistics. They always gonna try to take my woman and make it look like my woman is doing better with him than she actually is doing with me. And then they want to keep their woman, so they're gonna say that his woman is divorcing me at high rates too. It's all see-through and supreme mathematics that y'all just don't understand.
Wow, there goes the answer to the question. If everyone can tap the screen, we should be at 70K. If you can heart me by my name, I think I only see 3 people heart me by my name today. I think it was Wife Mom and the other 2 I forgot, but if everyone can please heart me by my name. Can I get some more heart me's today? And also, if we can gift the panel and also support the live goal. Let me get some more subscribers over there on YouTube. If we could get some more subscribers before the end of this live. We've been streaming for like maybe, let me see. I've been streaming for 2 hours now. If we can get some more subscribers on the YouTube and some more subscribers here on TikTok, appreciate it. Support the platform. Let's continue these conversations. I wanted to go to Wife Mom. Did you want to chime in on anything?
I did. It's never been really about money with BLK women. We've been since the end of the Civil War, when we were allowed to marry legally BLK men, we had been doing that. But y'all still was dating out. Y'all started dating out the minute Lincoln set the folks free. Y'all was taking cases to the Supreme Court to be with YT women. You all were having families with YT women on the other side of town. You all were doing all of that stuff.
Well, Wife Mom, I have a question for you, and then I'm gonna move on. Do you believe, from what you just said, the BLK men were going straight to the Supreme Court after they got freed? Now, just imagine these same BLK men were just watching their own women get great. Do you believe that maybe it is true? Maybe these men were upset and they were doing it out of spite to get back at the YT men because they just endured watching their own women get great. What's your thoughts on that? Could it be true what these men are saying?
It could be, but that still doesn't justify it. I mean, you know, I'm just putting myself in the place of what I think was going on during that time, just based on the readings and the education that I have. And it just would have seemed like it would have been more important to me to build up my family and do what I could legally we had Black people in the legislature. We were trying to get everybody getting set up so Black men could actually go in and vote. It just looked like time would have been better spent doing those things instead of trying to go to court to marry a white woman. I mean, Let's be for real. And it just didn't happen once. It happened there were 4 really big cases and then several small, unnamed ones. But nonetheless, BLK women have been loyal and remain loyal to BLK men to their detriment, because that's why we're not married now. Only 30% of BLK men even marry, period. And then what?
Mute. What the heck? That was the new person coming up here. That was a lot. White Mom, you can land, and I'll come back to you.
You all only marry period at 30%, and the fraction of those you still marry out. It's like we're your last choice, and that's cool. You want to date out, do your thing. But why is it that you believe that we're your property, that we can't be touched or looked at by anybody but you? I don't get that. We're not your property. We are people just like you. You don't own us. But yet, you think, y'all don't own nothing else. So I guess you gotta own your people too. I don't know, but it's real crazy. And y'all really need to look at, because it's something wrong with y'all. There's some kind of mental psychosis or something to go on and think you own women that you don't even know, that you don't even want, that you don't even like. It's crazy.
Wow. Now that's groundbreaking. Now what's crazy work is that Laugh and Giggles is the one who said that you guys are ours, you belong to us, but he hasn't married not one of a BLK woman. Not one.
I mean, I don't intend to.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Last time you said you was 34.
I never told you that.
All right, mute up. Really quick, I want to go to the people attending the live. If you can tap the screen, our gifted panel, all those here. I see a lot of people who are tapping. I appreciate you guys. But if you're not tapping or gifting the panel, could you please do that? Either tap, gift the panel, or support the live goal, or subscribe, or do all of it. Whatever you want to do, however you're feeling. If you're feeling gracious, go ahead. Let's tap the screen. Let's subscribe to the YouTube. Let's keep the conversation going. I want to go to some of the white tea women who've been listening into my show all day. I would ask some of you white tea women if you can come up and give your thoughts, not just listen in. I know that these are your sons that we're dating, but we like for you to come up. Baker Bean, 73. You've been here since the beginning. As a white tea woman, I want to hear your thoughts on this matter. So if you could send your request up, I would love to bring you up. Moving right along. Bella, do you want to chime in?
Yes. I want to sort of kind of piggyback off of what White Mom said. I feel as if you feel like somebody's your property, that does not mean you actually love them. You just like the idea of having them. That's why BLK women don't want to be with you. And another point I want to bring up is we don't want to be our second option when you get broken up with by any other race. Y'all can't just keep running back to us. That's the thing. Like that's the problem. Y'all get into these situations, they break up with you, y'all run back to us, and y'all expect us to coddle y'all. But that's the problem. We don't want to be anybody's second option. Like, I'm not going to name any names, but I would never, ever, ever want to hear my husband go, well, you're different than the other BLK women I've known. You're different than the other BLK women. I never expected to see myself with a BLK woman. You know how weird that is? That is so weird that that person in your life is a second option. You never even saw yourself with that person. You never even considered that person. They were just quote unquote different than everybody else. They're unique. They're all this stuff. When out of the 21 million BLK women, you could have found one that matched you. You are the problem. In this world, if you cannot find a single person that matches your interests, and there are millions upon millions of people, you are not looking. If you want a conservative woman, go to somewhere where it's conservative. If you are looking at Atlanta or California for a conservative woman, I hate to break it to you, you're probably not going to find it. And I'll end my plan there.
Man, get out that man cake, man. That man, he found it. He blessed. Okay. Man, married.
Laughing Giggles, not your turn. That's why they keep muting you. Bella, did you say Atlanta or where?
Like, if you're in Atlanta or California and these places are known for having more or less conservative women, and you're looking for a conservative woman in those places, you're probably not going to find it. But y'all don't ever want to move to these places that actually have women that have conservative values. Y'all just want to stay here a little. Oh, I'm in California. There's no conservative women here. No wonder.
Oh, he's not gonna do California like that. None of y'all about to do California like that. There is a lot of conservative women in California, so I don't even want to go there. But
thank you.
Y'all gonna make me go there. If everyone can, there's a lot of conservative women in Atlanta. They have conservative people. Like, come on, y'all. I know we're not gonna take the conversation there. There's conservative people in every city, every state. You just got to be in those particular groups and environments where conservative people go. Okay?
Yeah.
So just like if you want a man who has a good job and can provide, there's certain places you shouldn't be going to get approached to meet them. Why would you go to the hood or a hood bar and expect to meet some wealthy guy? You need to go to a more high class. See, this is the game they don't give BOK women. This is a game they don't give BOK women. But same thing with BOK men. You can find a classy conservative BOK attorney. I have a lot of family who are lawyers, women. Okay. And guess where they're at? They're at classy spots. They're at they do golfing and they do freaking country clubs and all types of different stuff. You go to those areas, they have that in every city, especially California. California is very diverse. So that was a bunch of, in the white tea man's voice, that was a bunch of baloney. But I wasn't going to address what TikToker said because I'm from California and there's a lot of higher class BOK people and there's a very wealthy area. Shout out to Pasadena, Altadena. Very, very, that's always been a BOK high class community. Higher middle class community with a lot of conservative people. You can have some hood people, you can have some conservative, mix it up. So, and Los Angeles, same thing. You have the hood, and then you even have Baldwin Hills. Like, no. You have Glendale, you have so many different areas, Norwalk, Long Beach, Signal Hills. Signal Hills, well, I have family in Signal Hills. It's like the people would say the good part of Long Beach. Like, no, just stop. There's anybody with a brain knows that just like every city has a hood, every city has a higher class neighborhood also, and they have higher class people of all different races. So to me, that we're not going to drag the conversation that low in vibration. That's not making no sense. NA, if you could give your age, race, and pronouns.
48. I am him, he, Mr. Sir. So I've been tuning into your dialogue, and this is a quick synopsis on. First of all, after.
Okay, your voice went all the way down. We need you to talk in the mic.
My bad, my Bluetooth. Is that better?
Go ahead.
So, responding to what wife mom was speaking.
Okay, wait. You got to answer the prompt first. You got to answer the prompt.
What's the prompt? I can't see it. What's the prompt? Because I'm driving. What's the prompt?
History only matters when BOK women date white tea men. True or false? And 2 points to back it up.
History only counts when BLK women dates white tea men.
Right.
History only counts. No, I think that's false. I think history counts regardless. But I think everyone is not privy, really, or have the information about the correct history of their people. Everybody is not the same.
You're going out of the mic again. Stay in the mic.
My bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Everyone is not, as up on their people's history. And because you're melanated doesn't mean that we're on the same people and we have the same history, first and foremost. So, and when the sister wife mom up in the right was speaking about
Wait. Before you address her, because she's going to rebuttal you, it's going to turn into a back and forth.
No, I'm not addressing her. I'm just addressing the statement she said. I just want to lay out some facts on.
Wait. Hold on 1 second. The way we do this, when you give your introduction, let's not include anybody in your introduction, if you don't mind. Go ahead.
So during the Jim Crow era, when Abe Lincoln so-called freed the slaves, the BLAK family marriage rate was the highest as it ever been. We was the highest married. We had families. It was BLAK families all around America. So that's why they had to implement a system to break up our family. So first and foremost. So us running, or them, our ancestors running to the Supreme Court or to the legislature to sleep with white teen women, that's totally false. That's totally false. And that's a false narrative to put on our ancestors, and that's totally whack that you're doing that. But, and again, and my boy laughing giggles as when he
you were just addressing the whole panel. I'm gonna come back to you.
Conversation, because I listened to the whole conversation. This one thing.
I just said wait. Hold on. I was gonna let you do all that. I just said wait to open panel. So if you're done with your introduction, hold on. We'll open up the panel. I'll let you go first. If everyone can tap, let's get it to 90K. If everyone can tap. Now he's saying that, hey, what wife mom said was a total lie. Okay, and that our families were separated by Jim Crow and so much more. I'm actually going to let him write out. Go ahead, NA. Go ahead and say what you were saying. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic and go ahead.
My fault. My fault. I think y'all had a misconception on what Laughing Giggles was stating when he replied to the white T man about the sister being mine. The Most High gave them to me and not y'all. He didn't mean that as, from my interpretation. I'm not speaking for him. I'm assuming, but I believe what he meant was because the Most High ordained us to stay together. He didn't want us to separate and enter marriage. He didn't want us to mingle with other races. He told us to stay together. Israel to stay together. So that's what he meant. You feel me? When he stated that, not that he felt like he owned y'all or y'all are men property. That wasn't stating that. It's just stating that the Most High ordained this relationship as a union when it comes to BLK men and women.
Okay.
That's all he was stating.
Okay, thank you for that. Now, could you go ahead and expound on what your response to wife mom as far as that our BLK men were not running to the Supreme Court to marry white tea women, that you said that was a lie and she's embarrassing our ancestors? Could you tell me how she's embarrassing our ancestors? You're off the mic again. If you could get in the mic.
My bad. I'm just confused where she got that information from, and if she have any facts to show that was happening, I would love to see and research it myself.
Someone in the comments says, look up John and Sophia. But let's let her respond.
Sophia.
I'm ready. I got 4 of them right here.
Let wife mom respond in it.
Google.
I got 4 white T guys doing the same thing too. Let me.
Everyone mute. Wife mom, you can respond to him.
First case, McKinney and Andrew McKinney, Mahalia Miller. They are out of VA, November the 4th, 1874. And that was the Pace versus Alabama. No, that's Mary Cox. Second case, McCaughlin versus Florida, 1964. This was a black man and a white woman in Florida wanting to cohabitate while the white woman was even still married. So there was cohabitation and adultery with that case. 1948, Sly Davis and Andrea Perry, California, struck down in another case, which was in 1883, which was the Tony Pace versus Alabama, and that was against Alabama's I can't pronounce the word, but it's anti-miscegenation statute, and that stood for almost 100 years. It did not get overturned until 1964. And that went back to the McCaughlin case. So all four of those cases are intertwined because each one tried to build off the other one. But the last case that was able to overturn all four of those cases I just mentioned was Loving versus Virginia in 1967. So all you got to do is Google it, and it's free.
All right, moving right along. Let's get it to 100K. We're at 85K. What's your response to that, NA?
I want to rebuttal.
I'll let you go.
Go ahead, Laughing Giggles. Go ahead.
No, you're not hosting, NA. I told you to go.
I want the man who said I was lying to remember.
It's okay. I am hosting. NA, go ahead. If you retreat because you have nothing, just say that.
Well, that's 4. She only stated 4, so maybe those 4 are true. But out of the majority, is that the case? Was that the mind state of our ancestors at that time? Was that the majority? No, because after Jim Crow, after Lincoln so-called freed the slaves, we built Black Wall Street. So
and there was a lot of mixed couples in that. Did you not know that?
It wasn't mixed. They was just light skinned.
I'm sorry, not mixed, multiracial couples. But if everyone can tap.
They wasn't like my brothers.
Hold on. If everyone can tap, let's get it to 100K. We should be at 100K by now. Go ahead and land your plane, NA.
Africans and Native Americans.
All right. Wife Mom, if you want to respond, you guys got to stop interrupting. It messes up the quality of the live. Wife Mom, go ahead.
Those were 4 of the most well-known ones. There were hundreds of more in the lower courts and in the state courts. But they all 4 of those built off of each other and weren't overturned until Loving versus Virginia. But that has nothing to do with it. Of course, there were extremely high marriage rates right after the Civil War and the Emancipation Proclamation. Nobody ever said that. I know I didn't say that. What I said was, while BLK women were being race loyal and wanting our men and standing up for the men and wanting to be and build family with the men, 10 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, a BLK man was up in the Supreme Court trying to marry a YT woman. That's what I said. So
all right. So let me help the guys out for once, which I never do. I let everyone help themselves on the panel. You guys are just using one marriage, right? One man out of how many BLK men as an example that BLK men wanted white tea women so bad. That's not enough cases.
Not enough. Thank you.
I'm just helping them out because I'm surprised they didn't say that.
Don't say it, but you want to let me.
Let Laugh and Giggles talk.
Can I go out?
Let's go Laugh and Giggles and then let's go Kennedy.
But y'all forgot the case where the Caucasian man was going to court and he wanted to be with the BLK woman too.
What name is that? What case is that?
I'm gonna go there and get my notes. But
we'll come back to you then, because you can't put that out there and you don't have nothing.
But they was doing it too though. They wanted our women. It wasn't the BLK man wanted his woman. He actually wanted to be with my woman, but it was against the law. So of course you see these BLK men go up there with their little cases and then they pass them and y'all go ahead on and marry because why? Now he got access to your woman, knowing for a fact you don't want his woman because the penalty is, you know what the penalty was.
And y'all still was with him.
Wife, mom, hold on. I'm letting him go. It's Kennedy's turn.
We was not with him. You know what they was doing to us. We did not want them.
What? Laughing giggles, you're done. Kennedy, I just said it's your turn. Can you please mute him and go? And if everyone can tap, we should be at 100K. Kennedy, if you can mute your mic and go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to go a little bit into this because this is important, right? What White Mom just said is very historical, and if we were BLK men, we got to have some honesty around the conversation, right? So if we should know, if we look about 1963, 64-ish, going to about 1967, we'll see that there's a proliferation of rights, especially amongst BLK individuals, right? And so when you look at all the laws that she brought up about that got to the Supreme Court, that was epic because that those were laws that were challenged at the highest level at that point, where BLK individuals were able to bring regress against YT America at that time, right? So let me just break it down like this, right? So in about 1967. We had the Lovin versus Virginia case, right? And that's the ultimate thing that says that interracial marriage is allowed, right? And it was brought on because of whom? It was brought on because the BLK man wanted to be with a YT woman, right? Because in Virginia it was illegal, right? And if we go further about that, if we go a little bit further before that, what we find? We find that the Voting Rights Act, right, of 1965 was where we try to get, BLK women and most minorities enshrined into this voting right aspect, right? And so, yes, because they had legal rights to vote and all these things, they are able to get to the Supreme Court level. But this interracial interaction between BLK men and YT women preceded that of BLK women with YT men as a consensual aspect of their being. And that's a fact because women were still considered as property even up until 1950, where men weren't. So even though BLK men were oppressed systematically, yes, but they were not considered property because they were a free individual. And yes, they were going through racism, we know that, but they were still not considered property. Women started exercising their right to individuality, autonomy, right around 1950-54 when the courts ruled and they had that autonomy of their voting rights, and so the women started having that autonomy. So when you look at the big scope of the history of how BLK women interacted with dating, they've been subjugated to the same misogyny, be it made YT or BLK. So no, they were not seeking court cases to be married because they did not have the right to, because they were still property, because most of the properties that were owned by men, BLK men and or YT men, irrespective of what their value was in that society. And I'll just land on that. So we can't erase history. Let's keep it a buck. BLK men gained access to property and different things, and then when they did, they wanted to go up in the echelon of society, and they still were trying to be with YT women at that time.
So Kennedy, were they trying to be with YT women because of YT supremacy and YT proximity, or did they really just lust after YT women?
No, they were trying to be with YTness because that's what they've been taught. They just came out of Reconstruction. They just came out of all this level of slavery, and they saw that in that area after the Great Depression, where access to some form of clout was given,
BLK men started getting access to things, and as a result of that, they started going to work more in XYZ because we had to rebuild the economy, rebuild the infrastructure of the U.S., all that stuff. And so by we get to 1950, BLK men were empowered now because of their attachment to different levels of property. They started having, clerksmanships and townsmanship. Sorry, they started being, little mayors or county people within little cities or whatever it is. But they were getting some access to power, and that's when you get the proliferation of BLK men tying into this nuclear family and white supremacy talking points. They aligned themselves to that policy. So when you got to 1950, now when the BLK women started having those rights given to them based on the voting rights, and now there's a proliferation of BLK women started going into working into these different fields, because most at that time, I think the country was at unrest, and they were going overseas, and so women had to work, and so did BLK women. They had to take care of these white women, kids, and XYZ, so they were getting paid for doing it, not at a rate that they wanted to, but when they were going into these access.
All right, we gotta land.
Yeah. So that's what it is.
That's a lot of lies is there.
Laugh and Giggles, hold on. For those watching me on YouTube, my oven was just made a weird noise. Sorry, that's why I jumped. That's hilarious. Okay. Anyways, if everyone can tap the screen, let's get the likes up. Let's get it to 100K. If everyone could tap the screen. I want to hear Greg chime in. Greg, you put in the chat. I forgot what you put in, but you put in something when they were talking about the court cases. What did you put in the chat they were questioning you about?
Oh, I put in Loving v. Virginia, and apparently sarcasm is lost in Kennedy because.
Wait. You could go to Kennedy in a minute. I'm with you right now, and I'm asking you something. So with the Loving versus Virginia, you put that in the chat because of what?
So that case was about a white man, not a black man, that wanted to marry a black woman, not a black man wanting to marry a white woman, contrary to what Kennedy just said.
Well, that proves my point that they always loved us. We're their dream girls.
That's it. That ain't what that said.
Hey. That proves my point on they always loved us.
Maybe so, but it contradicts the point that it was black men who are pretty much just created this, that made this interracial marriage legal, or pretty much took down anti-misogyny laws.
You're misguided.
I think you guys, hold on. The Loving versus Virginia. One second. Everyone, please mute. Wife mom, the one you brought up about the white tea woman and the BLK man. What year was that? And what year was Loving Virginia? Who was first to do this? Let's bring it out for the listeners.
The first case that I have is Kenny and Miller versus Virginia, and that was 1874.
Okay, Greg, what year was Loving versus Virginia?
I think it was 1964.
It was 67.
67 after.
So it was way later. So hold on 1 second. So it's still the point that it was the BLK men doing it first was wife mom's point.
That's just your research.
Hold on.
The Caucasian.
Wife man's point. Hold on. Laugh and Giggle. Stop. If we all can tap the screen, get it to 100K. The point was it was the BLK men doing it first. That was the point. Greg, you can go ahead and finish.
So you're saying black men did it first.
Laugh and Giggles. Can you please stop and wait your turn?
So
go ahead, Greg.
Black men were first, but black women were successful at actually doing it. That's your point?
That wasn't my point. I know you want to talk to me so bad, Greg.
So the point was that
Kennedy, please. I'm doing this right now. So, Greg, I know you want to talk to me so bad, but that was not my point. That was wife mom's point. You love to come up here just to mess with me.
You've got to understand how Black people used the courts back then, and recognize that some of these cases aren't really about what they appear to be about. They were building blocks for bigger cases. For instance, and let's just look at Loving v. Virginia and see how it was utilized. Like the case that undergirded it and made it successful was Brown v. Board of Education.
Expound and talk louder.
Brown v. Board of Education was the case that, the civil rights case that pretty much says that separate but not equal isn't really constitutional. In fact,
That's not true. That was
Kennedy,
not,
we gotta let him finish. If you don't like what he said, drop him, but we gotta let him finish. Greg, go ahead.
So yeah, and that was the basis. It was on that. That was one of the building blocks for Loving v. Virginia being successful. So let's not. So we have to think about, when we think about these court cases, we can't just look at them in isolation. We have to realize that these were tools that were used by brilliant Black people to try and seek out other.
So you're saying that they were marrying white tea women and going to the Supreme Court to marry white tea women just so that they can get equality?
I'm saying that looking at it in isolation would be you're going to miss half the story. I think if you look at the individual cases, and especially you look at how they build these cases, you will see that there is another thing that they're pushing, another agenda that they're pushing, and these cases are just the foundation for their other cases, right?
So basically, the BOK guys, they're up there marrying white tea women, having children, up there in the bed, pumping a white tea woman, say, "Hey, I just want equality. That's why I'm doing that."
Obviously, I wasn't there. I don't. I do. I can. I mean, if we try to recreate the picture as to what life looked like back then, right? We're talking about a time and space where women had no voice. So it was either men. So you're looking at a war among men, right? And being able to choose who you marry or who you're able to marry, I think must carry some weight or some recognition of who knows if the fight really wasn't about marrying white women?
TikToker, could you mute your mic, please? Go ahead, Greg.
Who knows if the fight was
TikToker, could you mute your mic? Hold on 1 second. I gotta drop TikTok. There's too much noise. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, so I'm saying that we don't know if the fight really was about marrying a white woman, as it it might be about something else.
It wasn't even about marrying a white woman now? Wow. This is groundbreaking in a bad way.
Can I please step in?
Everyone, please mute your mics and please wait while I'm talking to him. So, Greg, so you're saying these cases weren't even about marrying white tea women. It was a bigger picture.
I said, we don't know. That's what I said. We don't know.
So you want us to speculate instead of just reading the history notes about the case?
I don't think it's an unfair speculation considering our history of using the courts to advance our civil rights.
Wow.
It's not an unfair assumption.
Wow.
One
second, please, you guys. I'm gonna come around, but now you're like, I'm doing it back and forth with him. You guys want to respond to him because I started talking to him and got this out of him. You wouldn't even want to respond to him so badly if I wasn't getting these answers out of him. So if I am questioning a guest, please allow me to do so. And then I will let you guys respond. You guys, we should be at 100K already if we can tap the screen. If everyone can tap the screen. Greg, I just want to say, if you're a traffic lawyer, right, and you became a lawyer to actually help fight for these men, right, and saying that, hey, they did not want to marry white tea women, they really just wanted equality, I would just say your argument is not very strong. And I would say to throw it out. Throw out just everything you just said. I would just say dismiss and come with a better argument, attorney, and we can reset this case to another date because your argument is not strong at all. At all. Could you come up with a better one, maybe?
I'm just presenting an alternative view on these cases, you know, and whether I am right about whether or not that view makes sense or not, I think it's you have to look at the historical context and look at our history of how we utilize the courts to see whether or not there's an illegitimacy in that argument.
Can you give me one example on how we utilize the court to get something that we really didn't want to get something else?
What do you mean?
Just what you said. You said that the BOK men didn't want to marry them. They just wanted equality. So can you give me an example of a famous history case or any type of example that's widely known that somebody went to court asking for something they didn't really want because they wanted something else? Because that's basically what you're saying that happened. Please. Unmute your mic and please give me an example of a case like that. Unmute your mic.
Yeah. Okay, so I would think, for instance, Brown v. Board of Education, you know, I think it was definitely more than simply getting funding for black schools. I would think it's probably more for a full integration and recognition of African American citizenship in the United States.
You know what? I'm actually starting to believe him now because it makes me think of the BOK men, not all, but some, that go and fight for custody of their child knowing they don't want to be with the child. They're just mad at the mom and they're mad they're not getting SMECs anymore. So they're going to court asking for something they don't really want to get something else. I can see that now. It's starting to make sense. Kennedy, you can go ahead.
So this idea, and this is a level of, you know, this is why these women can't take us seriously. So you just say Brown v. Education was what led to